Falcon fans, and of course, good old Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. It's your boy Jack Spade, T Will, in here checking in. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, episode 210. We are moving, man. We are rolling in the right direction. Terry, how's everything going for you, sir?
Going well, sir. Going well. All is well. How goes it for you?
Oh man, everything's going great, man. Had a rough day today at work, but guess what? That's what work is. That's what it's all about. You
Work
know,
is work.
sometimes it takes too much of your time, and you get paid well. But I must say, I got my ass kicked today. But guess what? We're here talking Falcons football with the fans, and I'm feeling good, man. Because last time we talked was when was it? Friday, I believe it was.
I think it was Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't
that's
have a show Sunday, so I think it was Friday. I think
Friday.
you're right.
Breakfast with One Time for the Fan was great. And big shout out to everybody who's been in the chat, who's been here talking Falcons football with us since day one. So definitely hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Bring your questions, bring your comments here to the chat as we talk about Falcons football. Because, it's the off season. So I know everybody's kind of like on vacation. They're on chill mode and they're doing, other things, probably not even worrying about what the Falcons are doing right now. But then there are some other Falcon fans that's like, nah, we're 24/7 with this shit. We want to know everything about the Atlanta Falcons. We want to know what is going on with the Atlanta Falcons. And that's why we are here with One Time for the Fans. So East Coast, West Coast, wherever you're checking in from, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button because we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, right? So big shout out to everybody who's been supporting One Time for the Fan. I think we're at like 922 or something. So big shout out to everybody who's been supporting One Time for the Fan. We know y'all love the channel. We know y'all love the show. We're going to keep it rolling here. Of course, we have so much going on that we'll be able to present to you all. We have the upcoming training camp too as well for the Atlanta Falcons. The two training camp dates that's open to the public. One Time for the Fan will be there. So you guys get a chance to probably come out, hang out with One Time for the Fan if you guys are going to be up there. Probably be going live from there too as well. But it's a great time just to see the Falcons practice and just to see what they got going on. Of course, they're probably going to be running some vanilla plays. They're probably going to be running some basic pillow plays. Little stuff that you probably won't even be seeing on the field. Every team does it, right? They just want to get the fans excited about the season. And that's July 27th. So that's real close to preseason, Terry, right?
Run the veer.
Sheesh. That is super, super close to preseason. So for fans that's excited about preseason and excited about the two upcoming training camp dates. They do have one in Buford, Georgia at the high school. I think it's Sekinger High School or Sekinger High School. I can't know what it is.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It's one of them high schools out there in Buford, Georgia. But then again, they also have another one at the Benz too as well. So it's going to be great for fans to get the chance to go out and have a good time. Terry, man, big shout out to Bodie. Big shout out to Chase.
Bodie.
Big shout out to Carrie.
Chase.
Everybody
What's
that's
up, Carrie?
One Time for the Fan. They have a lot going on right now in their personal lives. So from us here at One Time for the Fan to you all in the chat, big shout out to you all. And of course, whenever you get a chance, give a big shout out to Carrie. Give a big shout out to Chase. Give a big shout out to Bodie too as well. DSGB's in the chat. Jeff Wolf is in the chat. John Moreno is in the chat. It's going down live. Bring your questions to the chat. Let's talk Falcons football here. I know some fans are excited. Probably heard the comments from Zach Robinson speaking to the media. Probably heard the comments from Maurice Williams speaking to the media, special teams coordinator. Also, Bijan Robinson recently speaking to the media. We'll talk about that tonight. But Terry, I talked about work kicking my ass. But there's something else that I definitely don't want to be a part of when it comes to getting your ass kicked.
And
for
what's
one,
that, Jack?
That would be something called underwater jiu-jitsu.
Underwater jiu-jitsu. You mean people actually get their ass whooped underwater?
Underwater jiu-jitsu. For some strange reason,
what?
I should have been in bed around this time, but of course I'm up scrolling Twitter or X or whatever it is, looking for some Falcons content, looking for some things, pretty much to keep me awake for hours, which I'm supposed to be sleeping at that time. And then I run into this video that says underwater jiu-jitsu champion. I forget what this guy's name. I don't even want to pronounce this guy's name, but it said underwater jiu-jitsu champion wins in a chokehold, or sorry, some a submission via submission. I'm like, wait, underwater jiu-jitsu? What the hell is this, right? So Terry,
is there video of this? Tell me
if
there's
you want to take a
video
look
of
at the
this.
screen here, Terry.
Holy crap.
So there's one thing I don't want to do, right? And that's definitely be underwater getting my ass kicked, but then getting choked out underwater by, a 265-pound jiu-jitsu champion. That's something you definitely want to do in your spare time. But apparently underwater jiu-jitsu is a thing, Terry. As you can see here on the screens, we talk about breaking the ice. The chokehold is applied, and there it is. You tap out or you can drown. Either way, it's ugly. But yeah, man, underwater jiu-jitsu is this
will do
new
anything,
sport.
Jack. Am I saying that they have on no masks?
Bro, there's no mask, there's no gear, there's no.
They have on no masks.
I'm sure there's probably some type of paramedic or somebody nearby, but I'm not getting choked out underwater, bro. At my age, this is ridiculous.
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean bro. First off, kudos to them for having the will to do that. Number one. Number two, and I know you guys get sick of hearing this, but you'll understand one day. I'm 53, and I don't know how long I could hold my breath now anyway. Like, when I was younger, I could swim like a fish. But now, I can't imagine going through all of these movements and holds and positions. And then, like, as you're choking, you're exhaling oxygen naturally. Like, bro, you couldn't pay me to do that. I don't know.
You talk about couldn't get paid to do that. Somebody comes to you and say, hey, look, I'll give you $10 million right now. Go fight the number one underwater jiu-jitsu champion. 1 minute, 1 round. I'd be like, hell no. I don't care how much you give me. No. Hell no, I'm not getting in that water. Yeah, that's number one.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not no Michael Phelps either. I can tell you that right now. But getting into a fight in the water, I don't think I've ever been in a fight in the water. But then again, underwater for that.
Yeah, what? That's bro. Because
talk about breaking the ice.
Seriously, you got to think though. As you're moving, you have to keep some of that breath in, because you only got so many times where you can exhale, and then there's nothing coming in. So you really have to be strategic about that. I just think this is phenomenal. Yeah, I think this is phenomenal. Like, I want to see more of this. I'd never do it, but I'd really be interested to see more of this, because I want to see, like, how long is there a time limit on how long they have to be underwater, right? Like, do you have to hold your breath for a certain amount of time, or just how would you do that? Like, I mean,
they had another one called car jiu-jitsu, where you try to take the seatbelt. I don't know if fans seen this. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I guess the referee blows the whistle, and you have your seatbelt on. You're both sitting in the seat. And then all of a sudden, when the ref blows the whistle, you try to take the opponent's seatbelt and strangle the opponent. I'm talking about just choke him out with the seatbelt.
It's
called car jiu-jitsu, bro. You got to see some of these videos. Terry, if you're up after this podcast, when you're done with work, go look at some of these stupid ass sports they got.
Check it out.
Out here in the world.
Is the car moving while they're doing this, Jack?
No, the car is definitely sitting. All right. If the car was moving, there wouldn't be too many. Wouldn't be too many participants in this sport. But no, it's called car jiu-jitsu. I'm sure some fans probably seen that. But it was funny because we're doing this breaking the ice thing. We're trying to bring it back here on One Time for the Fan, because fans enjoy breaking the ice. But we always try to find different topics to talk about before we start talking about the Falcons. But I was scrolling the other day and I saw this underwater jiu-jitsu. I said, how could somebody do such a thing? But then again, I'm not into the whole martial arts thing. I'm not a black belt. I'm not a brown belt, whatever it is. But these guys, I guess they're getting paid in Thailand to do, get choked out underwater, And it's funny because you're probably sitting there at home watching it like, Who would do such a thing? Well, there's
Yeah,
people in Thailand doing it right now.
that's bro,
There's somebody training right now for underwater jiu-jitsu match on Saturday night.
that's crazy. Well, I shouldn't say it's crazy, but I wouldn't do it. I definitely would not do it. No, but I am gonna watch it though. Hey, Jack, we had a question from our fans in the chat. It was now I can't see who asked it, but basically they were asking which side of the ball is going to be better. Is it going to be offense or defense? Or their wife was asking it. If you could find that question, because I'd like to kind of jump into that for us. Yeah, there we go.
That's our good friend Joseph Avery. Big shout
What's
out to
up,
Joseph
Joseph?
Avery. Fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe
Yeah.
button. We are going to talk about some Falcons football here in a minute. Of course, you know the tampering situation. We should get some information on that shortly. Would love to get some information now as we're on the podcast. We like some breaking news, but so far nothing. We'll talk about the tampering tonight. We'll talk about Bijan Robinson's comments about how he could be more effective in this offense using, I guess they're going to use him as like Christian McCaffrey. And of course, you know, Falcon fans take over Savannah. That was cool to see over the weekend. So fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you're going to Vegas, Falcon fans, if you're going to Vegas, I'm sure you want to hear some information. So we do have some information for you here tonight. Big shout out to the Rise Up Tour fan club. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Joseph Avery said, "Hey fellas, how are y'all this evening? My wife wants to know which side of the ball will carry the team while the other side catches up." Well, good thing about having Joseph Avery in this chat. And I'm watching the Houston Roughnecks versus Memphis something. There's literally nothing on TV right now. This is like the dead period in sports because can't catch no Braves baseball, of course, right now. No Atlanta United playing today, and then you have NBA playoffs, the finals tomorrow. But really nothing's on. So I'm watching a repeat of the Houston Roughnecks against the Memphis Showboats. But Joseph Avery, I think we talked about this on the channel before about which side of the ball will carry the team. I think it's going to be balanced, man. You know, on both sides of the ball. When you come to Kirk Cousins and what he can do with this offense, when you go to Bijan Robinson and how he's going to be used this year, and I think we're getting over Zach Robinson. You know, going into his first year, I think fans are kind of starting to say, okay, he's getting into that coordinator role. But don't forget, he is a first-time offensive coordinator. But some fans are looking at it saying, nah, well, he's been working with Raheem for a while now. He's just getting that position as a first-time offensive coordinator. But I think he knows what to do. Joseph Avery, for me, Kirk, Drake, Kyle, Bijan, that offense. If you've seen Kirk stacks in the past, putting up 25, 30-plus touchdowns a season, the Falcons defense was ranked top 15 last year, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
At some point in the NFL. And if you get that back this year with Kirk Cousins' stats, you should have a top 15 offense and a top 15 defense. I know a lot of people have been saying top 5 offense and top 5 defense. I'm just going to say top 15 just to, make the margin a little bit better for me. But yeah, I'm going to say top 15 offense, top 15 defense. I don't think you're going to get a team where we're going to have a number 3 offense and a number 27 defense. I don't see that happening this season with the Falcons. I think, with Jimmy Lake and, of course, the players that they have on this squad, the players that they drafted to as well, to really help build this 53, they're going to get after it this season, right? So expect to see, a lot more from Jesse Bates in the backfield when it comes to interceptions, right? Expect to see a lot more of Nate Lemon getting a lot more, pass deflections in the middle too as well. Get to see Trey Anderson probably come off that edge too as well. Arnold Ebiketie, Lorenzo Carter, Dorless, of course, the rookie too as well. Rook, the rookie, Grady Jarrett. Who else we got? We got a couple dogs on that defense that can help, make my, I guess, statement better right there. Because you have some guys that's going to be after it, man. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates. I know some people are looking at that cornerback 2 spot, but I think Jimmy Lake and Raheem and them going to get this team together. But I'm looking at a balanced team this year. Top 15 offense, top 15 defense. I don't see one more so carrying more than the other. But having Kirk Cousins there, I think you're going to have an improved offense than what you saw in the past 2 years. But still, Jesse Bates, Grady Jarrett, Nate Lemon, Arnold Ebiketie, Renzo Carter, Caden Ellis. I mean, you got some guys there that we know is going to help. Is going to help the offense when it comes to those 3 and outs and and moving the chains and so forth, because fans want to see that, right? They want to see not only the offense score, they want to see the defense get off the field, right? So it's going to happen. It's going to happen this season. Not every game. You know how it is when it comes to the NFL. Teams will find ways to score. Teams will find ways to move the ball down the field. We might lose some games. Doesn't mean that our team is not going to be ready to go every Sunday, right? So I'm going with a balanced team here, Joseph Avery. You're not going to catch me slipping today, Joseph. Terry, you're hearing the comment from Joseph Avery.
Yes,
Chat, chime in too as well. You see Joseph Avery's comment. Chime in. What side of the
yes.
ball do you think will carry the team more this
I,
season?
I,
You guys see the defense carrying the team more or the offense,
mhm.
Terry?
I'm
What you got?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be balanced, but I think at times during the season, one may relieve the other, right? So you may have one game where the offense gets it done. You may have another game where the defense gets it done. For a couple of reasons, I think a lot of people are under evaluating or underappreciating this Falcons team. Why do I say that? Well, just took a look at an article from Aaron Freeman this morning, and he was essentially saying that because we now have Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis becomes a dangerous pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, Troy got hurt early last
Mm-hmm.
year, so he had to go out, which meant Caden had the duty of covering, and you couldn't rush him. So, with Nate Landman, Troy, and Caden all on the same field, it really gives you an opportunity to do some dynamic things. And it also makes the Falcons a better pass defending team because Caden Ellis is a great pass rusher, not a good one. Why do I say that? Because the percentage of times that he gets to the quarterback and sacks and or hurries or disrupts him went up last year by like 6%, and he had less opportunities. Because remember, Troy went out early. So if
Nate
Troy,
Lamb was also able to control a lot in the middle. That was able to free up a lot.
absolutely,
What Caden Ellis does.
absolutely. So if Troy and Nate and Caden are all healthy, that means 3rd and 5, you can rush Caden. Along with everybody else, you can send him as well. It gives us flexibility because you're literally not going to know who's coming, but you really don't want to see Caden Ellis coming through that A gap or B gap because he's probably going to have company with him. But either way, I think this defense is going to be well improved over last year. And make no mistake about it, they were good last year. You mentioned we were top 15. For the first 3, 4, 5, I'd say maybe 7 games, we were top 10. We were top 10 defense. And then, of course, Grady got hurt, and then Anyamata, and then. So I love it. I love the cup. Um,
Had to
so
shut
I
up.
think that I think the defense is going to be really good. I'm going to say it's going to be a top 10 defense. You know how I feel about this offense, right? Our only, and I'm not even going to say it's a challenge. Our only concern is really McGarry and pass blocking. But even in that, you can chip. Even in that, you can stick a tight end beside him. Even in that, you can have Bajan block. There's some things you can do to kind of help him out. So I'm not as worried about that. I think this offense will score points because, A, Kirk knows how to get it done. Kirk knows how to get it done. 4,500 yards a season for the last 3 or 4. He's figured it out. Not only that, he knows how to lead, right? He knows how to lead. He knows how to lead. He knows how to engage, develop a rapport with his teammates to get the best out of them. And we have so many weapons that we just added to. So Jeff and I, Jeff threw out a comment the other day saying it was 20, 25, 26 points a game. Jeff, I'm gonna say we're going to easily score at a minimum. Falcons score 28 points a game, at a minimum. Adamant, you can book it.
I actually like saying
You,
more than 20 because we've been known to do that recently. So
yeah, yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
going to go with
yeah,
more than 20. With Kirk
yeah,
Cousins, you can add on that extra 5 to 10. So I can see how you can say 28 points a game. Yes.
yeah. 28 points a game. And I think the defense. I'm pretty comfortable at saying maybe 20 points a game. So if you're scoring 28 and you're giving up 20, you're going to win most of your games. And I think that's what's going to happen. But, in the beginning, you may see the defense carry us for a little while because, again, this is a new offense. You have new terminologies, you have new players playing with each other. And it is easier for a defense to come in and get going faster than it is for an offense. It just is, because the offense functions off of synchronicity and timing. And sometimes that may take a few games to develop, right? But ultimately, I agree with you, Jack. I think it's going to be balanced. But I'm going to say you got a top 10 offense as well as a top 10 defense. So there you go.
That's what Kirk Cousins does to your team. The
Yeah.
stats are there. We've seen it, Falcon fans, from Kirk playing with the Vikings, seen it with Kirk playing with the Commanders. That he's a quarterback that's gonna, what do I want to say, try to shoot for 5,000 yards, but he can get there. He's been close enough a couple times, and I know fans probably saying, "Hey, look, let's end the stat stuff with Kirk and let's go win some games." I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's the off season, so we got to break down the breakdown, right? And we got to tell you that Kirk Cousins does make Drake London a little bit better this year. He's going to make Kyle Pitts a little bit better this year. He's going to make Bijan Robinson. I think Bijan talked about it in his press conference the other day when he said the first time they went through their walkthroughs, and when Kirk handed the ball off to Bijan was like, "That's that guy." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the quarterback that they've been looking for. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
For Falcon fans here, if the players are responding to, the addition of Kurt now being on the team, that's good. Like, Kurt is taking them out to dinner, I think, coming up soon. He talked about too as well. They went down to John Gruden's house over the early spring when Kurt first got here, right? He wanted to know more about Kyle Pitts. He wanted to study their college tape and find out what makes them better. These words that you're hearing from the quarterback over a period of time makes me as a fan get better, because I've seen Kurt play. I've seen his stat. I've seen him go for 3-4 touchdowns in a game. I've seen him throw for 250, 300, 350. I've seen those games. These are coming after the Falcons have played their game. Then you go watch a Vikings game like around 4 or a primetime game. So you're going to get 4 or 5 primetime games this year. You get a chance to let the world see you. But you have a quarterback that I know the players are excited. Coaches are excited. I keep hearing Super Bowl for some strange reason. I keep hearing the word Super Bowl being mentioned around with a lot of fans. Is it Kirk that's giving you all the hope? Is it the team? Is it the coaching staff? What is it, Falcon fans? But for me, I'm looking at it as we're going to win some games this year. But on top of that, for you fantasy people, we're going to stat pad too as well. Kurt's going to be out there throwing for 250, 300, 3-4 touchdowns. Right? Bijan should be rushing for like a buck 25 on the ground, right? You heard about how they're going to be using Bijan too as well. Somewhat, it could be a Christian McCaffrey type of role, and you've seen what Christian McCaffrey can do.
That? What do you think about that?
Well, hearing Zach Robinson's comments, and don't forget, you're speaking to the media, so they have to say something, right? But then again, we've never seen the team take a snap yet on the field other than the OTA stuff that you're seeing through, Fox 5 and all the other stuff, right? So you've never really seen yet what this team's going to be on offense. Week 1 against the Steelers, if we get the ball first, you're going to see it, of course, right there. Preseason, you're going to see some stuff that I know we're going to be working on, and, you're going to have some plays in the playbook and, just regular plays that they just throw out there. But if Bijan gets the Christian McCaffrey role, go to Christian McCaffrey when he was in Carolina and go to Christian McCaffrey when he was in San Francisco. He's still that same Christian McCaffrey. He's going to eat out the backfield. He's going to eat in the passing game too as well. In the receiving game, if you give him the ball, open field, open space, he's going to eat too as well. Yards at the catch, he's going to eat. Breaking tackle. Christian McCaffrey's a decent running back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hate on the kid. So. He's a decent running back. And Bijan Robinson, I know, as a Falcon fan, could be an even better running back. Right? So this is an opportunity for Bijan to explode this year, right? 1,000 yards on the ground, probably 8 or 9, receiving yards, more than, 6-7 touchdowns. Because Kirk coming off that injury and for his age, you definitely want to lean on that run game too as well. So there's games where McCaffrey has, definitely had more than 10, 15, 20 carries, right? Because they relied on Christian McCaffrey in a lot of situations, red
Mm-hmm.
zone situations, goal line situations, second and long, third and long. But let's not forget about Tyler Algier. If
Mm-hmm.
Bijan is doing all of that, and you heard Zach Robinson's comments when he spoke to the media, we don't want to wear out Bijan, right?
Right.
You're going to get a lot of Bijan
Right.
Robinson, but we're not going to wear him out, right?
Right.
But you're going to get some looks where he might be in the slot. He might be playing on the outside. He might be next
Mm-hmm.
to Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
He might be the decoy. You never know. But I don't
Right.
think it's going to be like that Tampa game where it goes to one snap. I think fans were pissed that game. And we came away with a
Yeah.
win too. And he had like what, one snap, two snaps or
Or
some shit.
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I.
I'm cool with it. I'm not the coaching
Mm-hmm.
staff. I don't. If you see Bijan get 30 attempts this year, whoa! I
Yeah.
guess they really told Bijan, look, bro, we're going to use the hell out of you this year. So if you get a
Yeah.
game where Bijan has 25 attempts, 30 attempts, I hope we come away with a win too as well, because he's putting a lot on the ground to get 30 attempts.
Yeah.
So
I.
don't
I.
overuse them, but yeah, use them how you have
Yeah.
to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's where I was going, Jack. So when he said they're going to use me like CMC, my thoughts are, well, do you mean CMC in Carolina or CMC in San Francisco? Because they're two totally different scenarios, right? In San Francisco, he has help. He has a dude named Debo, right? A dude named George, right? A dude named Ayuk, right? He's got some help, right? He's got some studs, so it's not all on him. In Carolina, it was CMC or bust. And to your point, you know, there's 17 regular season games. If you go on a decent run and make it to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, you're going to play at least 20 games. If you're using Bijan, if he's carrying the ball 30, 35 times a game, he's going to be tired. He's going to have dead leg by the time we get to the playoffs. So you don't want to do that. Now, again, if they're speaking of it from the standpoint of being innovative, right? And creating new ways to get the ball in his hands, as far as a pass here, a reverse there, a slant here, whatever, drag over the middle. Fine. But to your point, I don't want to run Bijan so much that you start to wear him down, because again, we have him for 3 more years, right? So I agree with you. I'm fine with him being in that role, as long as when you make the statement, you mean, well, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. So yes, he'll run the ball a lot, but we'll also get it to him on toss sweeps. We'll get it to him on angle routes. We get it to him over the middle. We'll run reverses. We'll do whatever we have to do to get creative and get him the ball. That's fine. But I agree with you, Jack. I just don't want to overutilize it, because again,
Yeah,
the ultimate goal is to have all your guys when you need them in the playoffs and make that run to the Super Bowl. So I think we are aligned there, as far as what that means.
big shout out to Dexerto. I shared a video from him earlier too as well. Just want to go ahead and give him his credit for that video. Put that in the comment section too as well later on after we finish the podcast. Of course, CBS Sports here too as well. Big shout out to them. They put their report about Bijan Robinson, saying he's going to be used more like in the Christian McCaffrey type role. You see CBS Sports reporting after a rookie season that can be summed up as solid. Bijan Robinson is planning to have a sophomore season that can be categorized as prolific. The Atlanta Falcons' second-year running back recently said that he feels he will be used the way Christian McCaffrey currently is in San Francisco. Bijan said, I'm going to be more of a runner that does everything else. A runner that does everything else. Well, here's the cool thing about what you just said, Terry, too, as well. Just like Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco, unlike how he had it in Carolina, Bijan has help too. Bijan
Yep.
has Drake London. Bijan
Yep.
has a quarterback. Bijan has an offensive line that's played together for quite some time. Bijan
Mm-hmm.
has Kyle Pitts, right? Bijan also
Mm-hmm.
has Rondell Moore and, of course, Mooney, that have experience playing wide receiver, and they've been in the league for a while. And Kirk Cousins, one of those guys here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So, Falcon fans, we're getting you all excited. We're getting you all ready because now it's June. Training camp is getting ready to start soon. it's getting ready to get real. Falcon fans know that when the Falcons start, he intercepted that. Oh. Falcon fans know that when it gets around this time in the summer, go on your vacations, have a good time, enjoy your family, spend all the time you can, at work, get those overtime hours, because in the next month or so, when we have that, back to open training camp, July 27th, and then the August 2nd event, right after that August 2nd event, Falcons play the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as summer begins, Falcon fans, there's some fans that's looking ahead. Summer's going to be over soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's back on the field for the fans. It's back on the field for the organization. It's back on the field for the team. But to hear Bijan Robinson's comments of being used in a CMC role should have fans excited, because fans want that. They run a running back that can give them, 100+ yards on the ground every game. They want a running back that can give them 4 to 5 to 6 yards per carry. They want a running back that can move the chains and help out a quarterback such as Kirk Cousins. And when you look at Brock Purdy, he's not the greatest quarterback in the NFL, but he can look back in his backfield and say, I have Christian McCaffrey right here.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's going to be super easy for me to get that first down, versus having somebody that, is not a true running back or anywhere on the level of Christian McCaffrey. Kirk Cousins can do the same thing when he looks back. He has Bijan Robinson, but do not forget, after Bijan rushes for that 7 or 8 yards, and you go to 2nd and 3, now he can give it to Tyler. And Tyler Algier goes crazy for that first down. You have a dual. You have a what is it? What do they call it?
A dual threat.
A dual
Thunder
threat.
and lightning.
What do they call it?
Thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got a backfield full of monsters. You got to use them. Right. Who the third running back's going to be? We'll get a chance
from
to
Alabama.
Find out what's going
I
on
can't
here.
think of his name, but
If it's Jace, then we haven't even talked much about Jace. If Jace gets active now you really got to watch it. Because we're talking heavy on Bijan. We're talking heavy on Tyler. If Jace gets active, then we got to start cutting segments about Jace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the cool thing about being a Falcon fan, because we're spending so much time on sophomore Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts going into this 5th-year option, and of course Drake London and Kirk Cousins. Don't forget about the rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rookies will play. Jace might be in a situation where, Bijan's on the sideline a play or two. Jace comes in, 20-yard run, 30-yard run, breaks 4 tackles. I'm looking at that TJ Duckett style when I see Jace.
You think so?
Beast. He's a beast. Not just saying his size. Like, I'm just looking at the way he just runs. He's going to be knocking people over. He's just going to be he just adds to that running back room. You got the elusiveness and the quickness of Bijan. You got bowling ball Tyler Algier just bowling people over, and you got Jace. He's like both. Right?
Is how big is Jace? Because Duckett was like, how big is Jace?
Let's check it out.
Let's
check it out.
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see.
Jace McClellan. He's 6 foot.
6
foot
feet
with cleats. Have him at 5'11".
Yeah, how much does he weigh?
212. 5'11", 212. Hey, let me tell you something. TJ Duckett, 6 foot, 250.
Yeah, Duckett was a big boy, man.
Pack on some pounds now. I mean, what is he, 212 to 250? Jason, 6 foot, going on 6 foot right here?
That's a lot, though. Like, that may impact his time. I could see him getting up. If he's 212 now, I could see him maybe getting up to 220, 225, 250 is a lot, man.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's going to impact your running style.
I hope my running back ain't doing no Zion Williamson now. Yeah. We don't want that now.
Now is Jace went to Alabama. Is he a one cut and go guy? Is he a set up my blocks guy? Is he a speed guy? Like what's his style?
Didn't watch too much of Alabama football. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
But from what I heard about, Jason, from a lot of Alabama fans, and of course the reports too as well as you see, he looks like a Tevin Coleman type, okay. Of course, Tevin Coleman was like a one look type of running back. I mean, you kind of saw what Tevin Coleman was. He wasn't no Freeman. at that point. But you knew what you got in the backfield when you get Freeman, who can at least give you about 6-7 yards, and then Tevin Coleman can come in and be a punishing back for those other 3-4 yards. But don't forget, Jace ain't coming in here to fill no first or second starting role. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's coming in here as, as a guy that's probably going to be third down, situational down, goal line, red zone type of thing, probably special teams early, But if Tyler or something happens, we hope it doesn't happen. Bijan something happens, we hope it doesn't happen. But that's when Jace comes in, right? And don't forget about Avery Williams too as well. Where are they going to use him on this team? Is he going to make the 53? I think fans are looking into that too as well. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I see John Moreno has a question in the chat. We haven't even got to our topics. That's the cool thing about this show. We haven't even got to our topics, and the chat is just going live. Chat is lit, and, we love talking with all the fans. So we're going to continue talking with the fans. John Moreno said, what kind of punishment will the Falcons receive for tampering? Will it be draft picks or suspension? Suspension? What? Let's get straight to that, Falcon fans.
I think it's going to be draft picks. Now, I do think it's going to be severe because the NFL was embarrassed, and bad things happen when the NFL gets embarrassed. I'm going to bring it up, and I'm not advocating violence in any way, and I'm definitely not advocating violence against women. None of that. I simply bring this up as an example. Ray Rice, when the altercation happened with his wife, he received 1 sentence. When the world found out about it and that tape got out, the NFL came back and said, "Oh, no. This is what's going to happen." And it happened that way because they were embarrassed, which is why I bring it up. So I bring it up to say, suffice it to say, I think the Falcons penalty, because of the nature and the way that it was revealed, and that was in an interview and it's been seen by the world, I think it's a minimum of a 2nd-round pick, and it may be multiple picks, Jack. That's what and honestly, if I'm being very candid, I think that also went into the thinking of the Falcons when they took a look at Penix. Yes, I think they loved him. I think he has all the tools. I think they did love him, but they also looked down the road and said, hey, we're probably not going to have a 1st or 2nd-round pick 2025. So now that puts us in a situation where if we are going to get a quarterback, we don't even know what the market is going to be like in 2026. Let's just go ahead and do that now. Those are just my thoughts. I think it's at least a 2nd-round pick. It could be a 1st and a 2nd. I think it's definitely going to be multiple picks, and I think it's going to be money, because whenever you piss the NFL off, you always got to pay money. So I'm going to say it's going to be money. Those are my thoughts, Jack. What say you?
They can kiss my ass. Pro Football Talk reporting here. During the press conference conducted only a few hours after the official start of free agency, Cousins admitted to as many as 4 different tampering violations. 4.
Shit.
And they put a little hyperlink on here to click on it. Bro. Click on this and look at what happens next.
Bro,
that happened during the 52-4. As many as 4 is what Pro Football Talk.
I think that deserves a wow from the soundboard.
Shit. I'm not even on the soundboard right now. I'm over here reading on the share screen. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get it for you.
Wow.
4 tampering issues. NFL, you're doing a great job. You counted how many did you count? 4? 4 tampering issues. We counted them. That's what Kirk Cousins did.
4.
You're gonna write them up. We've been waiting for this since Washington. NFL's just on our ass. That happened during the 52-hour negotiating window when the Falcons were permitted by rule to speak only to Cousins' agent. Sorry. The league promptly launched an investigation. It wasn't resolved before the draft, even though it could have been, and arguably should have been. The resolution reportedly will be announced this week, which means that multiple people behind the scenes surely know what's coming. Oh my gosh. What are we going to do, Batman? Like, come on, man. This is a 5th, 6th round type of decision.
Batman.
They don't have nothing. If you're going to come down this hard on the Falcons, I remember Deflategate with the whole Tom Brady situation. Oh, goddamn. What's that? Damn. Now I got to pray. Where's my Bible?
That guy that throws,
I wasn't
that guy
supposed
that
to
does
say
those
his
things
name.
with the
I'm
rings.
over here ranting about the damn. I need
guy
my
with
Bible
the rings.
now. The guy with the rings. When that situation went down, I mean, NFL fans saw that league is a joke, right? It's a true joke of how they just treat that guy with the rings versus any other team, right? I remember the
Dude.
Falcons had the audio situation a couple years ago too as well, where we lost. I think it was a draft
Oh
pick too as well.
yeah, we were pumping in the fake crowd noise.
I mean, come on, like please. And then of course this situation with Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. And I think the Eagles are part of their own independent investigation, something that they did. I don't know what they were doing, but who cares? The Falcons, for me, I don't see it as severe. Then again, there are fans in the chat that are probably looking and saying that's why they went and got a quarterback in the draft.
Absolutely.
They think that it's going to be severe. We're losing a first-round pick next year. We're losing a first-round pick the year after. Well, for me as a fan, what I see, I just want them to hurry up and get this over with. It makes it a little bit more better for me as a fan going forward. I don't want this to go on up until, up into training camp and week 1 preseason. This is ridiculous. I see it as probably a 5th or a 6th, 7th rounder, 2025, 2026, 2027, somewhere down the line. You take a first rounder from us, it's a bit harsh over the situation. I mean, ain't nobody get hurt. Ain't nobody's going to get fired from the job. So, like, what are they trying to get after here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they counted 4 tampering issues, but it's nothing too severe, I don't think. I think maybe the people that's coming down on the ruling probably just hates the Falcons. Has a strong dislike for them. And they're like, we're going to throw the book at them. We're going to show them that we really mean business now. Those Atlanta Falcons. No, I don't see that. I still see it as probably a 5th or 6th rounder, somewhere late draft picks. At the highest I would go, 3rd.
That's it. I'm gonna say 2nd, but I got 2 points. Number 1, when did Tom Brady become Kaiser Sose, man? You're like, we won't say his name. It's Kaiser Sose. Like, what the hell, man? Like, you got to tell me the story behind that. I
drove 12 hours to Houston.
I
drove 12 hours back.
Wow, that's deep hurt, man.
I drove 12 hours, man.
That is.
Is he gonna give me the gas money for it? Is he gonna give? I mean, you took the ring from me. You gonna give me anything in return?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is personal with Mr. Jack Spade. It is personal.
I thought I was going fast on the highway. Fox 5 was driving faster than me.
Golly,
this was coming back. I remember driving. I do like 100. I look over.
So
what the hell?
So Tom Brady is Kang the Conqueror. We're gonna start calling him He Who Remains. We won't even say his name. We'll just call him He Who Remains. That is wow. Okay, Jack.
You can say his name. I ain't saying it. He's Beetlejuice to me.
It's funny. You did that the other day, and I didn't catch it, and then it came up, and I'm like, "Holy crap! What's up, Carlton?" That's wow. Okay, well, hey, man, I feel you. I mean, you know what? Hey, it was 12 hours, and damn it broke our hearts, and I just really wish we had the opportunity to get back at him. But maybe he'll be, in a stroke of poetic justice, calling the Super Bowl when we win, and he'll have no choice but to say the Falcons are Super Bowl champions, and that will ring forever in the hallowed halls of Falcondom, and it'll be great. So
I want Cam Newton, Drew Brees, and Brady to be calling the damn Super Bowl when we go to the Super Bowl. I want that to happen.
The Baker said Empire King.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. That'd be fun. John Moreno's in the chat. Georgia, Texas boy in the chat. Rydo's in the chat. William Amy.
Dude.
Avery, D.A. Hunter is in the chat. Philip Crawford is in the chat. Hey, look, Terry Wilson. He's also in the chat too as well. Deshaun Coswell is in the chat. Big shout out to Deshaun. Deshaun says, I'm a menace. Keep what's up? One-timers. What rapper lyric is this? I am a menace. Keep me a rack just like tennis. Yeek. Get some.
Well, he used the word rack. He used the word rack. So that's a today rapper. So I'm automatically out. Jack, I'm gonna defer to you.
I am a menace. Keep me a rack just like tennis.
Yeah.
Yeek.
A rack is 10 G's, right? Or is a rack a G? Is a rack 1,000?
It's a G.
Okay.
You keep a couple of racks. Now you keep a couple of racks on you, they're gonna rack up. You keep a rack, keep a stack, keep a band.
Yeah, I know a band is 1,000. Yeah.
Different ways that people can look at it. And my homies like keep a thou wow. You know what I mean?
I've
little
never
thou
heard the
wow,
thou
but
wow.
I'm a
I've never heard the
menace.
thou wow.
Keep me a rack just like tennis. Sound like some Atlanta shit. I'm a menace. Keep me a rack just
Yeah,
like
he
tennis.
he used rack, so I'm definitely thinking it's a Southern rapper, but I don't.
I'm a
You got me
menace.
there.
I'm a
You got
menace.
me
Keep
there.
me a rack just like tennis. That sounds like some little baby. Wait,
Deshaun has
no.
really stepped his game up, man.
I'm a menace. Keep me a rack like tennis. Where have I heard that lyric from?
I don't know, but Deshaun has stepped his game up, man. He was throwing softballs, and now he's throwing 98-mile-an-hour heat, man. He stepped his game up because Deshaun. I have no idea, man. I'm old school,
I
so
want to see. I want to see. I don't do the Google. NL League shopper. Oh, I am a menace. Keep me your rack. You're like, oh, get the hell out. Not NL League chopper. He stomped us with NL League chopper. Are you kidding me? Are you serious, Falcon fans? Yo, Deshaun, man.
got him.
Bruh.
That deserves a wow.
Nah, they don't deserve no time. Nah, I'll tell you
Oh
that deserves.
wow! Dude, come on,
I'll
man.
tell you that
You
deserves.
gotta give him his moment.
And don't nobody listen to no NL League chopper from him, man.
Did you just call a 15-yard penalty on
I'm
Deshaun?
calling a flag on that. We got to bring it back. We got to bring it back.
Okay, 15-yard.
15-yard, 10-yard penalty on Deshaun for using NL League chopper. Ball will be placed at the 10. Come on, Deshaun. Don't come here with the NL League chopper, man.
Oh wow!
I'm thinking when I saw it, I was like, okay, let me go ask this question. Terry should be ready. And then Terry saw rack, and Terry backed the fuck up. He's like, I ain't doing this. I saw rack. This is scaring the shit out of me already. Y'all young boys up in here. Nah, Terry. Terry saw that rack. He was like, I'm out of this, man. With Jack, you young fellas, young blood.
Exactly right.
Terry's gonna get all old school up on me, man. I don't know
that.
I don't know that player.
My son would have probably known it. I have to call my son in here for that. You got me with that one.
Terry saw that rack and was like, man, Deshaun, you here jiving again, ain't you?
Hey man, you ain't playing Deshaun. Deshaun came to play. He came to play today.
Chat is live. Chat is lit. We talked about the tampering here with the Atlanta Falcons. Terry thinks it could be severe. Probably why he went to go get the Penix situation for me. I think it's not going to be too severe. But then again, that quarterback at 8 move, we'll find out if the Falcons probably did look into that tampering situation. Like, yeah, we probably could lose a first-round draft pick next year. We might want to make this move now, which is not a problem. Of course, Bijan Robinson saying that he's going to be used more in that CMC role with the offense this year. That's going to be great too as well, man, because 25, 30 attempts a game, not using him the way he was supposed to be used last year. I think Bijan did a lot on his own last year, right? But I think Zach Robinson, what the team is going to be doing this year, what Kirk Cousins can do this year, it's going to put a lot of looks on, some of these defenses where they have to say, how can I cover Bijan? How can I cover Drake? How can we watch Kurt? Right? Kurt is on a team right now that has weapons, multiple weapons everywhere. That's how it was for Desmond Ritter. I think some fans kind of believe Desmond Ritter had that Kirk Cousins aura, you know what I'm saying? Or he was going to be that guy last year. And some fans did believe that, they had him on that high pedestal. Like, yeah, Desmond, he can take us there. He can do this. You need a veteran quarterback. You need an experienced quarterback at this. And I'm glad that they went to go get one. But Falcon fans are in the chat. It's live and it's lit. William Amy said, I think we use Ellis as blitz and use Troy Anderson covered the middle of the field.
Yeah,
seeing what the team will be doing this year with Nate Landman, seeing what the team will be doing this year with, of course, that defensive line too as well. But just Zoe Carter, where would he line up? Like your outside linebackers. You know what I'm saying? D'Angelo Malone. We keep forgetting about D'Angelo Malone.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a big season for him too as well. So let's get ready to see, a new look defense in this.
Does Malone make the team?
Yeah, Malone's good. I think Malone's good. Yeah,
because somebody on that defensive line ain't gonna make it, fellas. I'm sorry to tell you, somebody ain't gonna make it.
I mean,
somebody.
I don't even want to get into that one right now with the who's gonna make it, who's not gonna make it, because I don't want to throw no shade on any player who's getting ready to go into camp.
Yeah.
When that preseason is over, that last game, and we get ready to break down that 53, then we can start not
That's a
showing
good
throwing
point.
shade,
That's a
but
good
we can
point.
look into who is going to make the team from what we
And who
saw
won't?
through
Yeah,
training camp, what
yeah,
we saw through the media, what we saw in the
yeah,
Falcons community, and of course what
yeah,
we saw at practice 27th, and of course the second, and then the three preseason games. But some would say, hey, the kid who got Julio's number, he's not making the team. That's how some fans look at it. The
yeah.
new offensive lineman that we just signed to as well. He's never
Yes,
played a snap in the NFL. Some would
right.
say he's a camp body. He's not
Yeah,
making the team.
yeah. Depth piece.
I
Yeah,
don't see. I see. I know my starters.
right.
I know you're AJ. You know you're Grady. You know you're Kurt. You know you're Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're Drake. You know you're Kyle. You know you're Jake Matthew. We know that. But outside of your starters, try to get the 53 going. And it's going to get you kind of, after you get that starting 11 on both sides, you're going to be like, shit, who's making this team? So
Bro,
let's just wait until
yeah,
after preseason. Terry?
when I think about that defensive line, first of all, when I think about that front seven, I think that front seven is going to now that front seven that could be top 5. And no disrespect to the secondary. No disrespect. Look, no Jesse Bates, in my opinion, right now is working on a Hall of Fame career. AJ, very good cornerback. But with that being said, that front seven that we have, I'll take them against anybody. Now, say what you want, whatever. But when you look at that, specifically that defensive line, we almost could have 2 starting units, right? You could take 4 guys on our defensive line, put them on other teams, and these are 4 guys that won't start, and they could start somewhere else easily.
Yes.
So that defensive line camp battle is going to be serious.
And we're going to get to that too when we have our camp battle competition podcast here, because anything outside of that cornerback 2, 3, 4, who's making those spots, who's playing in the slot, who's playing alongside. Some would say Richie Grant and DeMarco Hellams is going to have a camp battle, right? So who's going to be playing alongside that safety spot there? The defensive line too as well, outside of Grady and David, who's playing there. Could Calais Campbell possibly make a return too as well?
Oh man,
we don't know, but I'm telling you right now, those camp battles that you're going to see with wide receiver 2, 3, 4, because some people are saying that Mooney's not even the 2. Casey Washington could be the 2. Moore could be the 2. The sad part is I love going to training camp, and we can't do that this year, except for the 27th and the 2nd. But Eric knows, your brother Eric Barker knows, being there all those days, even seeing the players in shorts and T-shirts, where, every player looks good, because most fans would say, hey, how did they look? How are they doing? They're in shorts and T-shirts. Everybody's good. But versus when they put the pads on, it's a little bit different story. You get to see that somebody's going to lose their job, right? So it was great to be at those training camps. I think July 27th would be an opportunity for fans to get out and enjoy some training camp practice with the Falcons. August the 2nd will be fun as well, too. So fans, we definitely want you to show up, to those practices, because we're going to be there. Y'all sitting here watching the podcast, instead of talking about it, let's go out there and show some support for the Atlanta Falcons.
Do it.
It's a free event in Buford, and it's $5 at the Mercedes-Benz. Get your ass up off the couch and come down to the Mercedes-Benz. I be seeing people all the time that look like they ain't never been to the Benz and like, oh, wow, like they just be like, what is going on up in here? For me, it's like my second home. You know what I'm saying? So I can be going over there chilling. But for fans that's going up in the Benz, enjoy yourselves, right? That is our home. That's the Falcons' home right there. So we definitely want to make sure we continue the home field advantage. And just imagine if you have like 20, 30,000 people show up for practice at the Benz, right? Like, how great would that be? Like, fans are excited about this season. Georgia Texas boy left a comment here that is definitely telling the truth. If Kirk Cousins picks up where he left off last season, this team will go above and beyond. Kurt was on pace for damn near 5,000 yards last season. He was on pace for 30, 40 touchdowns last season. And if Georgia Texas boy is correct, Georgia Texas boy remembered his comment. If he does pick up where he left off last season, man, this team is going to do some magic. And that's why everybody's talking about outrunning the South and winning the division early. Week 12, week 13, that stretch after the Saints game, you should be able to go back and say, hey, we're going to win the division. We know we're winning the division, right? Let's cut the easiest schedule stuff out of the way. We still got to play the Steelers first. We got to play the Eagles. Then we got to play the Chiefs. We got to play the Saints, the Bucks. They're loading us up. But guess what? We have those games that we can win, right? It's going to be a dogfight every single Sunday. But
Mm-hmm.
I believe in this team. I believe that, like Georgia Texas boy said, with Kirk Cousins picking up from where he left off, you're going to have a dangerous team this season. And other NFL teams know that. Arthur Smith is going up in that Ben's week 1, telling Mike Tomlin, hey, let me tell you something. I know I coached this team for the past couple of years, but a lot of those draft picks that you see, I brought them in here. I know how good they are. Bijan's a dog. Drake's a dog. Kyle them is a dog. The Bergeron, he's a beast. Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Algier, he's a problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then they're going to look and say, they added a quarterback that even Arthur Smith's going to say, well, I wish I had me a quarterback at least one of those 3 years.
I bet I bet
Or
he's
even a
saying that
younger
now.
Matt, or even a 2016, 2017 Matt Ryan
Matt
for one of
Ryan,
those years.
yeah.
It would be a
I bet
totally
he's
different
saying that
Arthur
now.
Smith. It'd be a totally
Absolutely.
different Arthur Smith.
He'd be the Falcons head coach still.
Man, come on, man.
He'd be,
Come on now.
wow.
Falcon fans,
Yeah,
hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
he'd still be the Falcons head coach.
It's a lot to take in here as we talk about the Falcons. And then we have to get to this Falcons Takeover Savannah event that happened over the weekend. We was going to do a show Sunday so we can talk about it. Chase from Dirty Fanatics United was out there. A lot of Falcon fans were out there. The Rise Up Tour fan club was out there. They got something cool to tell y'all. So we got about 5-10 minutes left in this show. I got an esports match that starts in about 45 minutes, so I'll be able to take care of that. Uncle Steve's Lounge is here in the chat. Big shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge. He said, what's up, Jack and Terry? He's throwing up that strong emoji. He said, like and subscribe, folks. He's throwing around the fire emojis too as well. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, Falcon fans, here in the chat. William Amy said, and use Tyler Algier. You know we got to use Tyler.
Yes.
You know we got to use Tyler.
I think Tyler is really going to benefit. I think Bijan will benefit. I definitely think Kyle and Drake will benefit. But maybe most of all will be Tyler Algier because he's not going to see 9-man sets anymore. He's not going to see 8-man sets anymore. So he's going to really be free. And once Tyler gets past that first level, good luck with that. So I really feel like I just think our offense is going to be great, man. You know, I know it's on paper. I know we haven't seen anything yet, but I really feel like this offense is going to be great. Not good, great. And I think Tyler's going to have a great year running the ball.
Yeah, this is going to be great. And I already got my esports boys hitting me up like, come on, man, get online. But this is going to be great for Falcon fans here in the chat. When you get to see Bijan, you get to see Tyler. And that's why showing up to that practice on the 27th is important. You get a chance to see them get some autographs. Like, this is practice mode. So I was getting ready to get into that whole training camp feeling. But then again, we're not going to training camp this year. So it kind of sucks. But to wake up like in the past at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, drive out to Flowery Branch, sit out there until the gates open, see the fans on the hill, talk to the fans, go buy merchandise. That was going to be perfect. But hopefully they have everything set up on the 27th where you can kind of do the same. It's at a high school, so they're probably going to have like the bleachers. I don't expect much of, like the lawn chair environment of people just sitting back. But at least we don't get to walk up that hill, right? That's the good thing. That's the one thing I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm glad we're not doing training camp this year because that hill at Flowery Branch is a beast.
I was looking forward to that hill.
Terry, you talking about you looking forward to the hill?
I've never seen it before. I've only heard of it. Like I've heard the legends, and if you want to know the truth, I was looking forward to seeing it. I was really looking forward to seeing my brother Eric Parker. Love you, Eric. I was looking forward to seeing him fall, and then me, of course, talking about it on the show
now,
or
Eric
everywhere.
doesn't fall on the hill. I've been walking
I
with Eric
know.
a couple years. It's
That's
this way.
what I
You
hear.
got to turn your body to the side and walk a certain way, right? Because if you were just to walk straight down the hill like it's some stairs or something, oh, you're falling. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And Eric does it in slides. So it's like, how the hell? I'm over here carrying my chair. I got my damn Eric over here in some slides. Like, you Black Jesus? What the hell? What's going on over here? He's like, I'm walking down the hill. I'm trying to walk to the side. Eric just come. Everything all right? Like, what the hell? How's he floating? But that's my boy Eric, man. Big shout out to Eric Parker. Bobby D's in the chat. He said, man, if Bijan becomes anything close to CMC and have that bulldog smoothness like Michael Turner, the NFL is in trouble. You saw what Bijan did as a rookie last year.
Let's go, Bobby D.
you saw what Bijan did as a rookie. Just imagine what he can do this year with Kirk. I mean, hearing Bijan's comments about working with Kirk, right? When he first got here, for that, was he 21, 22 years old? For that young rookie, he's like, man, this is my second year. I get a chance to really light up the NFL. I have a real quarterback in front of me. So big shout out to Bijan. Big shout out to everything that the Falcons got going on, man. Definitely hit that like, share, and subscribe. But Zay in a bag is in the chat. He said one time for the fan, what's happening? Zay in the bag said we getting hit with that Rico. Sheesh.
He said
Not
a Rico.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Wow.
The Rico. That's tough, Falcon fans. Carton Bunch said we're making they're gonna make an example because we're the Falcons. It's possible with that tampering.
Yeah.
That try to do that because we're the Falcons. But if they say first round pick and it's next year, well, now we know why we went to go get Michael Penix.
Absolutely.
Chat. He said, "What up, family?" 3 daddies in the chat. He said, "One time for the fan. What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?"
Big shout out to 3 Dirty in the chat. Georgia, Texas boy is in the chat. Dwayne Ruffin is in the chat. He said, "Rise." He said, "Rise way the hell up. Let's get it. Bijan is about to take off." Sheesh.
What's your favorite Bijan play from last year, Jack?
Man, I gotta say, was it that one-handed catch in Arizona where he took it for like the 9 or 10 yards?
That was a good one. My favorite one was in the bins where he literally caught it behind his back.
I think that was the one. No, I thought it was in Arizona. That was the one right there. He caught it behind his back.
Yeah. And then
still had that time to do the juke move too as well.
Yeah. That was phenomenal, man. That was phenomenal.
The over the head camera shot against the Packers was nasty too. When he juked the first defender, and you can see that they slowed it down and seen the guy dive, and then the second guy tried to do like this, and Bijan backed up, and then he jumped over the next guy. Like, that's what that running back vision is about, man.
Yeah.
And you got a guy like Bijan this year, man, he's going to be cutting up because in some of those play actions, you have a quarterback that knows how to sell the play action, right? It could be a handoff. You never know what it could be. It could be a doggone Drake London quick slant. But Kurt is a guy that knows when we go through our progressions, just be where you need to be, and I'll get you the ball. And it sounds like Matt in a way, right? It sounds like how Matt was. Like Matt was like, just do your effing job, right? I'll get you the ball. Dre the Boxer said, and if they give us the same or worse punishment than Miami and the Aints, NFL don't like us. I'm glad our front office played the draft 2 years ahead, though. That's a big comment from Dre the Boxer about the front office playing, not only the draft 2 years ahead, but we talked about this with Michael Penix. You got to focus on your success years later from now. Everybody in the chat is focused on, now, but there's some people in the chat that's like, hey, in 2025, I want to do this better. In 2026, I want to do this better. And that's what the Falcons are doing. They're setting up for the future too as well. I'm all for that. Bobby D said, guys, I got a feeling Desmond Ridder might slip up and become another Brett Favre. And we let that slip through our fingers. What?
Then he said not.
Wait. Hold on, Blame. Hold on, Bobby D. Hold on, Bobby D. Bobby D. To the sideline. Stop the play.
Unnecessary comedy. Unnecessary comedy skit. Scared the crap out of us unnecessarily.
5-yard penalty.
No, that's 15.
Bobby D.
That's 15. That's 15 yards.
15-yard penalty on Bobby D.
Yep.
For saying Ridder could be the next Brett Favre. 15-yard penalty.
15 yards.
We're backing it up to the 5. You're on the 5 now.
You're on the 5, Bobby D.
It's first and 25.
You scared the shit out of us is what you did, Bobby D.
It's first and 25. Now, big shout out to Bobby D in the chat.
Yes,
we just joking
What's
with
up?
you, man.
What's up, Bobby
We're
D?
just joking with you, man. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Benny Smith is in the chat. He said, rise up, guys.
What's up, Benny?
DSGB Hall's in the chat. Who are your starting edges? Right now, if you're going with the veteran, you got to go with Lorenzo Card and Arnold Ebiketie right now. I'm going to go with those two. But then you're going to have a heavy rotation. You got some big bodies on the line. Arnold Ebiketie, first down, second down, Carter first down, then Trice comes in. Then they swap it around. However, they're going to have Dorless too as well along that defensive line. D'Angelo Malone probably comes in, your second series, second down, third down, because some teams will move the chains, right? You got to keep a heavy, fresh group of guys.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, there's some Falcon fans that's just thinking 3 and outs on every possession. You can't think like that.
No,
right? There's going to be teams that's going to move the chains. They're going to set up the kick field goals. They're going to set up to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to have that heavy rotation where you're watching Dorless on the field. You're watching David Amyata on the field. You're watching Grady Jarrett on the field. Trice is on the field. Caden Ellis is on the field. Then they come off. Then you have Nate Lamon go out there. You have D'Angelo Malone go out there. How are we going to set up their run package? How are we going to set up their zone package? Like, you're going to see a lot this season, but it's in that 3-4, and how they're going to disguise it is going to be great. But I got Zoe Carter and Arnold Ebiketie right now from what I'm seeing. That's just what I'm seeing. And we'll get to that, of course, when training camp gets closer. But I think most fans probably see the same thing right there. I don't think you're going to start Trice. I don't think Trice is going to be the starting age.
I don't think so either.
He's going to get some playing time, some much significant playing time.
Definitely.
I don't see him as the starting age. I would go with unless Campbell comes back.
Yeah.
I would go with Arnold Ebiketie and Zoe Carter.
Okay.
Because don't forget, Zoe Carter is one of your fastest, best covering zone linebackers too as well. So you can get blitz packages from different sides when Zoe's not even rushing the quarterback.
Yes. And I'm going to go online and say, even if they don't sign Calais, which I hope they do, God, please let them sign Calais. But if they don't, I think the Falcons still get 42 sacks because our interior defensive line is that good. You got Grady, you got David, you got Eddie. If he sticks around, you got
the Georgia Heat has hit him though. It was 90 something the other day.
Yes, he
was out there.
Yes, it was. Just ask my power bill. Yes, it was. But you really got 6 defensive linemen that could start anywhere as far as our interior defensive line. So that pressure is going to be there, which means the edge rushers, I'm not going to say they have a clear path, but it should be somewhat easier than it was last year because you're getting constant pressure. And you're not going to run the ball, right? Let's say in a world where we got Eddie Malcolm, we got Kentavious Street, we got, we just drafted from Georgia.
You still have James Smith-Williams from the
James Smith.
Well.
You're not running the ball.
Please go look at tape of James Smith-Williams from the Commanders.
You're not running the ball.
This kid has a high motor, and he will split up that offensive line, man. I'm telling you, him and Trice would be a package to watch for.
And Rook.
James Smith-Williams, man, coming from the Commanders, playing alongside Payne and alongside Allen too as well. Man, that he was that third wheel over there too as well. Yeah. About 40-50% of the snaps that he played being with the Commanders. But when he came into the game, he did what he needed to do. Mm-hmm. He did his job. And he's going to add to a defense here where we don't have Bud Dupree. I understand. Calais Campbell might not be coming back. I understand. But right now, I'm pretty solid on that defensive line. It's some muscle on the defensive line. We're going to pair some shit up.
Yes, agreed. 100%.
DSGB Hall's talking about, don't forget about Zach Harrison. Exactly. Don't forget about the impact he made in the last 6-7 games of the season last year too as well. Yes. Adding him to this defensive line this year going back into the season, you got to feel good about the muscle that you have on that D line from Root to Grady to Zach. Mm-hmm. Hell, you can line them up with Eddie Goldman. Don't get you a 2019 Eddie Goldman out there. Don't get you an Eddie Goldman that's like, I don't need no Gatorade. I need to put me in the game.
Yes.
It's going to be trouble.
Because it's a wrap. If you get 2019 Eddie, it's a wrap. I'm going to say it. If you
that played against Eddie Goldman in 2019, players that played against Eddie Goldman in the early stages of him joining in the NFL, they know what type of player they went up against. Some of those offensive linemen, they know that when they play Chicago, you better get a hand on him. You better
just run the ball to the outside because you ain't running it up the middle.
He was a run stuffer. He's a big body, but he also played the game very physical.
Absolutely.
Right? He was like
bring a lunch.
He's like a smaller, not a smaller Grady, not an undersized Grady. He's like another version of Grady that, course, he took a couple years off, but putting him, Grady, and David Amiata on the line, I feel comfortable about what I get. Right, I feel comfortable that these
Oh
three
my
guys can just
God,
push the
yes.
pocket.
Oh my
Because you might
God,
have to
yes.
double team Eddie Goldman if he makes that 53. Because coaches in the NFL are going to go back and say, Eddie Goldman made that 53. You now have to watch for him now.
Oh yeah, without
Because
a
there's
doubt.
coaches that know Eddie Goldman. Talk about a player. Talk about the coaches that know the game, not the fans who just out here just ranting and raving. There are coaches that know the true Eddie Goldman.
Yeah,
And if the
absolutely.
Falcons get that out of him, you're talking about problems week one for any young offensive lineman that's playing up against that defensive line this year. And
Good luck with that. Good
it's
luck with
tough.
that.
It's going to be a tough game. It's
Good
going to be a
luck.
tough. I keep telling people,
Yeah.
don't worry about the first 3 games of the season when it comes to who we're playing. Some teams are going to look at us and say, the Falcons got way better.
Yeah, they don't have to. They can find out. They don't. You know what? I normally don't say this, but they can F around and find out because nah, man. That let me tell you something. I'm not worried about our defense, and honestly, that may be why ultimately we didn't draft a corner because they feel like, again, this is just assumption, but they could feel like that front seven is so good. We know we're going to get pressure. We know you're not going to run the ball. We know we're going to keep you at 3rd and 7. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the time that you need to get the ball down the field. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. But I feel like, in my humble opinion, and I know I don't play football, I don't coach football, I feel like this could be one of the best defensive lines we have ever had. And I know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it. I legitimately feel like defensive line is the best position group the Falcons have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot of them this year.
Yeah.
Because, as you can see, they bulked up that defensive line for a reason. Raheem Morris definitely believes in, adding some help around Grady Jarrett, which the Grady Jarrett's been asking for the past couple of years. We got some bodies in there that you can say, even some of the rookies that are there with Dorless and Rook and Trice, that these guys could make a major impact immediately week 1. I see all 3 of them playing week 1, by the way, too, as well. All 3 of them. Dorless, Trice, and Root against the Steelers week 1. So that's good that, all 3 of your guys are going to be on the field this season, even early this year. Preseason, we'll get a chance to see what they're about. And I'm sure Raheem is going to play the players. He's not going to pull a Arthur Smith. So it's good to see that training camp is around the corner. But yeah, Falcons took over Savannah over the weekend. Big shout out to everybody who's out there in Savannah. They went to a location called The Grove. And they did have a kind of like a meet and greet for some of the players. I think it was Zach Harrison, Bijan Robinson, Zoe Carter. They had a couple cheerleaders. Of course, they had Fred the Falcon out there too as well. But big shout out to everybody who went down to that event. I thought it was a season ticket holder event at first, but then I remember that they just gave the tickets away on Facebook or social media. I think it was Facebook and Twitter. But if you signed up early, you was able to get the free tickets from the Falcons for this event. And from the pictures, it looked like they had about 300 people or so in there. But the Rise Up Tour fan club, Terry, we took a bus down to Savannah. Big shout out to Georgia Coach Lines. They've always looked out for us in a major way. But they took a bus down to Savannah, had a good amount of Falcon fans on the bus. Big shout out to everybody from the Rise Up Tour fan club that went down there and had a great time. But a friend of mine, he's standing out there, and Chase saw it too as well. So they're standing out in front of the Grove where the event is. And we talk about the Rise Up Tour fan club all the time. It's one of the groups, travel fan club that we started a couple years ago, me and my friend Thomas. But Chase is standing out there in the front. A lot of other Falcon fans are standing out in the front before the doors open. And a bus comes around the corner. Georgia Coach Lines, they always keep their bus, 2024, 2025. Hell, they got a 2029 bus over there. That's some damn high-tech shit going on. Nah. But Georgia Coach Line definitely looks out for us. But they turned the corner, and there was some fans that thought, I guess it was the players getting off the bus, because the way that the bus looks. But it wasn't the players; it was the Rise Up Tour fan club getting off the bus. But even Chase told me, he was like, "Bruh, the way y'all pulled up on that bus, something crazy." But that just shows you the fandom that we have in this community, and with the Rise Up Tour fan club. Bro, we packed the bus out and went down to Savannah just for a meet and greet, a day trip. You know what I'm saying, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
A meet and greet. We just want to be around Falcon fans. We just want to continue to, show the NFL that we have a fan base, right? That we're bigger than what you guys see on TV, right? So big shout out to everybody who went down to Savannah and had a great time. But Terry, Falcons putting on these events to bring out the fans. And it wasn't in Atlanta, Terry. It was in Savannah.
It was in Savannah.
For Falcon fans that went out there and had a good time, big shout out to you all. For Rise Up Tour fan club members that went out there and had a good time, big shout out to you all. The shirts look great. The new 2024 shirts. But there are some fans here in the chat that's like, man, we're going to Vegas this year. So what's the play? For fans that is heading to Vegas, of course, you guys know we have our tailgate. That's going to be the information we'll post soon. But we have a tailgate. We have a couple events. We have a couple parties already set up for fans that's going to be traveling to Vegas. Of course, you know what we do with the Rise Up Tour fan club. So look us up on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the Rise Up Tour fan club. But the host hotel for us, we're going to be doing the MGM Grand. Right. So for any fan, wait a minute, Terry. Wait a minute. We're going to be doing the MGM Grand. So for fans here in the chat, if you're looking for a hotel to book, that's going to be around other Falcon fans when you get to Vegas, go to the MGM Grand. Now, there's some fans that's like, man, we ain't paying that. We're going to stay at a cheaper hotel. That's perfectly fine. You can still show up to the parties. You can still show up to the events. You can have a great time. But we're going to be staying at the MGM Grand. We got a lot of Falcon fans. I think right now, Terry, just off the strength, I got about 30 fans that's already over there right now.
Wow. Damn, it's early, too. I tell you what, man, I think y'all are going to have a blast in Los Angeles. I wish I was able to fly, but I want you guys to get there, and I don't want to get kicked off by the air marshal because my anxiety kicked in and I couldn't have people with me. So I'm going to sit that one out, but I'm going to say, man, you guys are going to have a great time. Because I got people hitting me up about it. Oh, yeah, aren't you on the podcast? Bruh. Y'all, I predict by the time this event rolls around, you'll probably have at least 100 people going with you.
I mean, the group has over 1,000 members. So, of course, when we put it out, I mean, it's probably more. I know 30 personally that already booked around. Yeah. And I'm saying 30 because I'm just throwing the numbers out there because people are going to bring their plus ones, plus twos, plus threes. Right. And I know how some of these people that I know how they roll. So when I tell you that, we're going to be deep at the MGM Grand, we want everybody to show up in Vegas and have a great time. There's other away games before Vegas. So, of course, we're going to be in Denver. We're going to be in New Orleans. We got parties and events for everything set up. So do not worry about it. But if you're heading to Vegas, you're looking to book a hotel around other Falcon fans, the MGM Grand is where the Rise Up Tour fan club will be. So
that's what's up.
Let's get it, man. Terry, this has been great. We have another show coming up on Friday, breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Hopefully some news about the tampering is going to come out within the next 48 hours. So we can talk about that Friday morning.
Yeah.
Chef Matt talked to me the other day and he was like, man, he loves the podcast, right? He's been telling so many people about the podcast. He's actually got some things going up where he's about to do I think he's about to clip some of my videos and put it up on some of his social media.
That's what's
up. He hit me up and he said, I got to get back to the podcast. I have to finish the show. I don't think it was right that I was only there for 10 minutes. And a lot of fans couldn't see what, I was talking about because they joined the show after. Because as soon as we started the show, Chef Mac jumped on like 2 minutes after. He had a
Yep.
big food tasting going on with the international committee that was going to be there for
Yeah.
Copa America. It's a big soccer
Yep.
competition happening here
Yep. Yep.
in a couple weeks at the Benz. But he said they flew in from all over the world just to taste his cooking, right? And make a decision on what they're going to eat at the stadium for Copa. So that was great to see, you know, not only Chef Matt at the stadium, because he did the podcast from the field at the Mercedes-Benz. He was right there on the field. But he hit me up the other day. He was like, bro, we got to do this again. I said, well, we're going to get you back on the podcast later this year for our Chef's Corner, right? Our food and football segment. That's right, Falcon fans, food and football here on One Time for the Fan. You know, we always thinking about something. You got to be a creator out here. You can be a content creator, but you got to be a real creator out here. You got to create something, right? You got to do something that's for the people, right? So we have our food and football segment coming up later on this year with Chef Matt. Sorry, Senior Executive Chef
Senior executive
from the
Matt.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Chef Matt Cooper. But he's going to be on the podcast coming up on another breakfast with One Time for the Fan, because he definitely wants to come back and talk Falcons now. He didn't even get a chance to really talk Falcons with us, right? So big shout to Chef Matt. Big shout to all the special guests that we've had on the channel. Miles Garrett, A1, Mark Cheney too as well. Big shout out to Mark. Make sure you follow Mark. But definitely follow everybody who's out here doing this content, right? We all want to win. We all want to find a way to. That was a bad hit. Can't believe I'm watching the Dodgers versus the Angels game. This is a tough Wednesday night. But Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Head on over to your other fellow content creators and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for them too as well. Terry.
Yes, sir.
From my knowledge, you also are a fellow content creator in this community too as well. You have your podcast.
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir, I do.
Before we get to the shout outs, would you like to take the floor here and tell everybody about your podcast? You good?
Well, yes, I would, and that's very gracious of you, Jack. Thank you for that. Yeah. So, and first off, hey, Mark, I saw you in there, and I wanted to give you a shout out. So, hello, Mark Cheney. Mark's funny, man. I check out his stuff a lot. Mark is about that life, man. But yeah, no, seriously. My show is a morning show. So typically between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. The sign for YouTube is at Terry Wilson for my ATL Sports One. Say again, at Terry Wilson for the number 4 my ATL Sports One on YouTube. And the ATL is capitalized. I don't know why. For whatever reason, if you don't do it capitalized, it just doesn't come up or it comes down 5 names later. But either way, it's Terry Wilson for my ATL at Sports One on YouTube. And we've done about 4 shows. And actually, this morning's show was quite funny because I did 10 minutes of it and didn't realize my mic was muted. And thanks to my friend and partner here, Jack Spade, he kind of went in and rescued me and said, "Hey, bud, your mic's muted." So thank you for that, Jack. I appreciate that. I did go back and edit the show, and I think it's up on Facebook. But I have started. Those of you who do watch this show know that's a promise I made my mom. And now that she's gone on to glory, I feel like I owe it to her to do that. So I did start. And just looking forward to all the fun that we can have. I am still going to be a very active member of One Time for the Fan, which means you still can catch me here Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. And if we had another show, I'll be there too. But very excited to talk some more Falcons and put my content out there. And just, hey guys, come on over and like and subscribe, and let's have some funs in the morning and fun in the morning. And what I'm really looking forward to is Friday, because literally I'm going to be on from 8 to 9, and then I'm going to hop over with Jack, and we'll be on from 9 to 10. And that is just, I don't know why, but I'm really looking forward to that, like every Friday. So I think that's going to be fun. But either way, Jack, thank you for that. I'm assuming we're at the part we're on shout outs, right? Yeah.
It's coming up, but take it. No, floor is yours,
Oh no,
brother.
no, no, no.
Floor is yours.
We're good, man. If it's not time, do your thing. Go
Sheesh.
ahead. You can come back. I'm good. Sorry about that.
Well, Falcon fans, this is great to talk Falcons football with you all. Talked a little bit about Bijan Robinson's new role. Well, not necessarily the new role, but what possibly he could be doing this year with the Falcons more with the CMC style running
Mm-hmm.
back, which
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey has played a lot of snaps and what he's done for the San Francisco 49ers since being there. It's something that hopefully we can get out of Bijan Robinson too as well, because the 49er fans, they love CMC, and the Falcon fans, they love Bijan. So Zach Robinson, Raheem, let's make it right for Bijan, right? Talked about the tampering situation too as well, so we'll hopefully find out some more information about that. Falcon fans taking over in Savannah. That was great to see those pictures and videos over the weekend. Big shout out to the Rise Up Tour fan club for taking the bus of fans out there too as well to go hang out with the Falcons. But Vegas, if you're heading to Vegas, don't forget MGM Grand is the hotel. So go book, go look at the prices, see if you guys want to stay there. But we have a lot of Falcon fans from the fan club staying at the MGM Grand. Terry, the floor is yours for some shout outs, man. What you got?
Yes, sir. Also, we had 2 penalties. One on Dre.
Shit. We finished the podcast with 2 penalties tonight. Oh my gosh. Gotta go look at the stats after the show. Oh my gosh.
We had 2 penalties. We had one on Dre for his question, which I think was not to, Jack basically said that really wasn't a fair modern day rapper, I guess is what he was saying. But anyway, he got hit with the 15-yard penalty.
Deshaun got hit with a penalty too as well for using an illegal shopper.
Yep, and Bobby got hit with the penalty for that.
Desmond Ritter could be the next.
That Desmond Ritter could be the next Brett Favre. Which just, I don't know, for whatever reason, just hit me in my stomach, man. That one hurt, Bobby. That one really hurt, man. So yeah, he got the 15-yard penalty. No, in all seriousness,
me sitting there watching the Cardinals win the Super Bowl this year, don't
even put that out there, man.
I would just.
Let me tell you something.
Stop probably watching football.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what would happen. And you already know where I'm going. If Desmond Ritter takes the Cardinals to a Super Bowl and they win, Kiki is going to call you personally. I promise you. She's going to call you personally and say, "I told you so," along with some other expletives. It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen. So anyway, shout outs. First and foremost, shout out to God. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. Thanking God for everything. If you're gonna praise him in the good times, you gotta praise him in the bad times. I know my mom is not suffering anymore, and I'm getting better. It's tough. I'd be lying if I didn't say I don't have moments where, oh gosh, but it's getting better, man. And God has just put me in a place where I met Jack, I met you guys, I met all of the fans, and you guys have been wonderful, and I just appreciate it. So number one, I thank God for that. I thank him for my family. I thank him for my job. I thank him for everything. First and foremost. Secondly, one time for the fans of this show, you guys are absolutely the best. You guys are absolutely the best. Every engagement that I have with you guys is positive. Every time I talk with you guys, I learn something new. I learned something about you guys. Had a couple of conversations with some fans, and you guys are just excellent, man. You guys are excellent as people, and I'm really thankful for you guys, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here in front of you and just talk Falcons football. And hopefully, we'll experience the Super Bowl together in the next couple of years. But yeah, and then, last but not least, of course, you got something to say, brother. Go ahead.
Nah, man, I just want to give a big shout out to my boy James Reese. Reese. I probably know James Reese from the Dirty Bird Nest. James Reese just signed up for the Rise Up Tour fan club. He's back for a second year. Awesome. James Reese been rocking with us for a while, yo. My boy James Reese, man. When you go on the road and you see fans that
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, that you rock with,
yeah,
that's like
it hits different.
It hits different when you go on the road and you see fans I see you in Atlanta all day, but when we're on the road, it's a different story. I look down, I see James Reese is in the group. I'm like, James Reese, my boy,
Yeah,
is back for another year with
it,
the fan club. Because we already know what's going to happen, man. We turn up.
let's do
We
it.
turn up.
Let's
I
do it.
just felt good looking down and seeing that. I was like, that's my boy.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
boy
it
ready
hits
to hit the
different.
road. Ready to hit
And
the road.
my son would be proud that I use that in the correct vernacular. You know, and my son would be very proud. So Zach, wherever you are, I did it for you, buddy. Hits different. So last but not least, Jack, hey man, I number one, I can't do anything but thank you for your continued support, for your mentorship, for everything, for your friendship. I appreciate you, brother. I enjoy doing this show. I freaking love doing this show. I look forward to it. And hey man, as long as you keep inviting me, I'm gonna keep coming back. Let's do this. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and man, I can't wait for the day where we just keep going and going and going and going. So, with that being said, sir, I will defer to you. Go right ahead.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. You guys know me from traveling to these games and, a lot that we do with the fan club. And, of course, one time for the fan. But at the end of the day, I'm just a fan, yo. I'm just a fan. You're a fan. I'm a fan. We're all fans. So let's go win together. Big shout out to my homeboy Anthony Wallace too as well. He just signed up. I'm looking at names that's popping up as people are signing up. And we are deep. Like this group has grown something crazy. I can't wait till we do this. I can't even make the announcement, but I can't wait till we do what we do on the road this year so you guys can see what this fan club is all about. I'll say a whole lot of TV time. I'll say that. A whole lot of TV time. So just be prepared for that. Big shout out to everybody who's been supporting One Time for the Fan. Once again, Terry, thank you. Bodie, Carrie, Chase, big shout out to you all. Continue doing what you do. You do it well. Larry, big shout out to Larry in the chat. You know what I'm saying? He's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan too as well. So big shout out to Larry in the chat. All the fans, that's what we do it for. We do it for you all, right? We talk Falcons for you all. And this is like the dry season, right? Not too much is going on. It's not enough, media buzz going on between the team, otherwise in OTAs, and there's no drama within our organization except for the tampering situation. But otherwise than that, it's just, a relaxing period. But in the next 2 weeks, when those teams get back out there for their training camp, it's going to be nonstop coverage. It's going to be a film breakdown. It's going to be everything from who dropped passes, who looks like they're getting cut, who's moving up the depth chart, who's moving down on the depth chart, competition battle. So be prepared for that. For right now, just keep it chill. Smells like somebody's cooking. I'm gonna go upstairs and find out what's going on. Terry,
Go
thank
ahead,
you
brother.
so much, man. I'll see you Friday morning for breakfast One Time for the Fan. Hopefully, I can get a quick golf game in. I have a very important meeting Friday I have to take care of, and that's going to be a couple hours. So,
Jack,
hopefully,
my niece plays golf, and
nice.
she shot a 79 and an 80 over the weekend. She's 15 years old. She's been playing since she was knee high to whatever. But went to see her over the weekend. She played some great golf, man. Played some great golf. So I wanted to tell you that. Thank you for reminding me. I just thought about it. But yeah, man, when you go out there Friday, kick their asses, Jack. Kick the shit out of them. Let's go.
I'm going to do the best I can. We have some tee time set up. We'll be teeing off in Carolina this year. We'll be teeing off in Tampa this year. We'll be teeing off in Denver this year. We'll be teeing off in New Orleans and Vegas this year. So it's great that I get to take my golf game on the road. I've met some interesting people who's opened their, I guess golf doors or golf network community to me.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting some people that's like, oh yeah, you definitely want to go ahead and check my bank account. Here you go. Here's $1 million. No, I'm just you meet those fans when you're playing golf because that's what golf is, right? You're gonna meet a lot of professional people. And I ain't gonna lie, you're gonna meet a lot of rich people, right? But when you're good at doing it,
a lot of rich people,
or you're getting good at doing it, or you're getting better at doing it, you speak to the right people, you get to know the right people, and by the end of the day, next thing you know, you're playing for free on some 18-hole PGA Tour course, which I know the people around me have been looking out for me on my golf game. But I have Eagles Landing coming up, which is it's a beautiful course here in Atlanta. That I'll be playing at soon for free.
That's what's up.
For free.
That's what's up.
And those green fees over there are like $200 like a person, probably a little bit more. So Falcon fans, once again, thank you all for being here on One Time for the Fan. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. Keep telling your Falcons friends. Keep telling your Falcons family. I want to see everybody at the MGM in Vegas. I want to see everybody at the MGM Grand in Vegas. John Moreno said, this is my second year as a Rise Up Tour fan member. One day I will party with all the Rise Up Tour family. John Moreno also signed up too as well, so it's great to see John. Terry, that's your family, man. When you travel on the road, these are the people you're going to be seeing, man. They're real diehard Atlanta Falcon fans. So big shout out to everybody. Eagles, he said, let me know about the Eagles game. That information is going to be coming out shortly. I already have the event and everything set up for Saturday. I didn't do the Sunday night event. I think me and Thomas going to work on that. But I'll talk to you guys in a minute, Will, so I'll let you know. But Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Friday morning, I'll see you, Terry.